You've seen the headlines, right? Some digital coin, literally based on a joke, makes somebody a millionaire overnight. It feels unreal. It's got to be one of the weirdest, most fascinating parts of the whole crypto space. But is it for real? Or is it all just a myth? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into.
I mean, that's the real question, isn't it? It just sounds impossible. You take a picture of a dog, make it into a digital token, and suddenly people are buying houses with it. How does that even happen? It's not magic, I promise you. It's a very specific and super rare set of events.
And that's the perfect way to describe it, a perfect storm. You've got technology, human psychology, and market mechanics all colliding in just the right way to create this explosion of value, seemingly out of thin air. So let's break down what's actually in that storm.
All right, first things first. Let's make sure we're all on the same page about what we're even talking about here. Because these success stories, the ones that grab all the headlines, they're built on a very specific kind of asset that just throws all the traditional rules of finance right out the window.
So a meme coin is, well, it's pretty much what it sounds like. It starts as a joke, usually based on a popular internet meme like Dogecoin or Shiba Inu. There's no business model, no revenue, nothing. And when we talk about success stories, we're talking about stuff that's almost unbelievable. For instance, there's that famous story of an investor who put about $8,000 into Shiba Inu really early. A little over a year later, that investment was worth over $5 billion. That's the kind of insane, life-changing money that fuels this entire frenzy.
So how does that insane volatility actually create millionaires? Well, it all comes back to that perfect storm I mentioned. It's not just one thing. It's three key factors that have to smash together at the exact right time.
These are the three ingredients. First, the math itself has to be set up for explosive growth. Second, you absolutely need a powerful story to get people buying. And third, the market has to be structured in a way that just reacts dramatically. Let's look at each one.
Okay, this slide shows the secret sauce, all those zeros. Meme coins often launch at a price that's just microscopic, with trillions of coins out there. So what does that mean? It means if you put in just $100 and the price just loses a couple of zeros, say it jumps from a millionth of a penny to a thousandth, your money just multiplied by 1,000 times. That's hyper-leveraged speculation.
And that brings us to ingredient number 2, hype. Look, stocks are valued on things like revenue and profits, right? Meme coins are valued on attention. That's it. A single tweet from someone famous, a viral video on TikTok, or a big push on Reddit can cause a stampede of buyers. It's pure crowd psychology.
And here's the final piece of the puzzle. When these coins first come out, there's usually a really small pool of them available to trade. We call that low liquidity. So when all that social media hype sends thousands of people rushing in to buy, they burn through that limited supply really fast, and that forces the price to just spike like crazy to meet the demand.
Okay, so we get how it happens, but the million-dollar question, literally, is when. These massive gains aren't totally random. They usually happen during very specific and, very high-risk moments in a meme coin's life.
This timeline pretty much shows the key moments you're looking for. First, you've got the ape phase, right when it launches. It's a blind bet, basically, but that's where those 10,000x gains can pop up. Then comes the virality peak, when it goes mainstream, and everybody and their cousin rushes in. And finally, getting listed on a big exchange like Coinbase or Binance. That can open it up to billions in new money, causing another huge price jump.
Now, we've talked about the how and the when, but we need to have a serious reality check here. Because while those stories are incredible, they are a tiny, tiny fraction of what really happens in this space.
And this is the question you really have to ask yourself. Hearing all this, can you actually build a financial plan around it? The answer is so important for understanding what meme coins really are.
So here's the bottom line. Meme coin trading is not investing. It's pure 100% speculation. It's a bet on hype, on timing, and on luck. Traditional investing, that's about analyzing a business's actual value. These two things couldn't be more different.
And this chart? Yeah, it says it all. For every single person who gets lucky and hits the jackpot, there are literally thousands of others whose coins just go to zero. The odds of picking the next big meme coin are right up there with winning the lottery. You're just far, far more likely to lose everything.
And one of the biggest reasons for that 99% failure rate is this thing called a rug pull. It's a scam where the anonymous creators of a coin wait for people to pour money in, and then, poof, they drain all the cash from the project and vanish, leaving everyone with a worthless token. It happens all the time.
Okay, but let's just play devil's advocate for a second. Let's say you do it.
You beat the odds, you get incredibly lucky, and now you have $1 million sitting in your account. A really common fear is, what happens now? Is that money actually safe?
That's a totally fair question. If you turn $1,000 into $1 million overnight, is the exchange just going to take it from you? Do they see that as suspicious and just confiscate your profits?
The answer, really simply, is no. That is not how these platforms work. Your legitimate trading profits belong to you.
And here's why. The big exchanges, the centralized ones, they're just marketplaces. They make their money on fees, not from taking your winnings. And on decentralized exchanges, the money goes straight to your personal crypto wallet. They can't even touch it. The only thing that might happen is your funds get frozen for a bit for a compliance review, but that's just a security check, not a confiscation.
So we've gone through the mechanics, the timing, the massive risks, and what happens if you actually win. So what's the big picture? What should you really take away from this whole phenomenon?
At the end of the day, the meme coin craze is really a cultural thing. It's this fascinating window into how social media, community, and that human desire to hit the jackpot can create these wild, bizarre bubbles of value. It's less of a lesson in finance and more of a lesson in modern psychology. The real question it leaves us with is, what does it say about all of us that a joke can be valued at billions of dollars?